me, but then you look, he's got 14 home runs.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yes.
at second baseman, Tim, for next season.
Yeah.
Is he the? See, Tommy Edmonds got more. So I'm looking at OPS by second baseman, just as that is in order, and Jose Altuve's number. Is Jazz Chisholm the top second baseman next season?
He could be. Again, a lot depends on what happens in the second half. Marcus Semien could be, if he continues the charge he's been on.
Mm-hmm.
He's now up to 7 home runs, 12 stolen bases. Tommy Edmonds, a nice player, but I don't think he's got. And you know what? You still have Ozzie Albies in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was good, he wasn't Jazz Chisholm good.
No, he definitely.
Jazz Chisholm's going to go 25-25, Tim.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Feels like a second round pick to me.
Numbers, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be up there. Second base, definitely. My early assessment, second base will be the weakest position on the board next year.
Yeah, it's amazing. This year it was stronger because you had like Javier Baez and Trevor Story and those cats, and even Marcus Semien was, didn't know if he was going to stay at second, and now those guys are going to lose second base eligibility. But Trevor Story's been good. Yep. Javier Baez has been terrible. So that hasn't helped you at all by drafting those guys at second base.
Yeah, Baez at least has picked it up.
The last week?
In the past week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
Trevor Story had the one good week, right? He had one good week.
Yeah. I think other than one home run, I think he hit all his home runs in one massive spurt.
Yeah, it was like 1 week. He did all of his damage in 1 week, and if you got frustrated, sat him on your bench, Timmy, for that week. It's time to pack it in for the year. Timmy, let's move to pitchers. Pitchers with 20 wins or more for the season. Last year there were 2. Gonsolin has 9, and 6 others have 8. I'm sorry. Let me repeat that. Pitchers with 20 wins or more, over under 2 for the season. Last year only 1 guy did it. Currently, Gonsolin has 9 and 6 others have 8. What say you?
Nobody gets to 20 this year.
Really? Not even Tony Gonsolin, already at 9.
They'll be resting him in September, okay, if they have a shot at the playoffs. So I don't think Tony Gonsolin is going to get to 20. He'd have to have an amazing. He'd have to have a second half to equal his first, and I don't know if that's in the cards.
Do you know the only pitcher off the top of your head who got to 20 wins last year, Tim?
Julio Urias.
Yep, your guy, Julio Urias. Okay,
yep,
pitchers with a sub-2 ERA, over under 1. 6 pitchers currently have less than 2 ERAs. Nobody had a sub-2 ERA last year, but we're already sitting at least it was 6. It might be a little less than that because I think Musgrove got beaten up last night. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5. Musgrove now has a 2.12 ERA. Does anybody maintain a sub-2 ERA for the season?
I'm going to say yes.
Who would it be? Gonsolin's at 158. Alcantara's at 172. Shane McClanahan's at 181. It's got the Yankees probably a lot in the second half.
I'm going with Alcantara.
Yeah, I think that's the right answer.
I think he's going to roll in with about a 195 ERA. But I think he'll be sub-2. And the other player I wouldn't write off is Alek Manoah. He's sitting right now at 2. Bang on 2. So, yeah, and again, we've already seen a bit of a turnaround in play from some of the, the early hottest of the, Nestor Cortes has looked very human in the past couple of starts. I don't think Miles Michaelis will continue on the pace that he has. He's a good pitcher, but, is Paul Blackburn a sub-3 ERA? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm looking at these guys, Timmy, and it's just like looking at the top, and boy, it's hard. It's going to be hard to not take Corbin Burnes, Shane McClanahan as the number 1 and number 2 pitchers off the board next year.
Yeah, and Alcantara will be in the mix somewhere, top 5, guaranteed.
Yeah, but the strikeouts are 90 and 99 innings. If you take McClanahan's 113 and 84, and Burnes is 110 and 85. I mean, it's just those guys are striking out guys. Burnes has a 2.31 ERA, McClanahan 1.81. Corbin Burnes he's only won 5 games. It's just every time he goes out. Yeah. The offense takes a break, Timmy. They just say, "Oh, he's good enough. We don't need to hit."
Yes, it's the Jake DeGrom school of offensive support.
That's it's weird how that happens because these guys only pitch against the number 1 pitcher once, Timmy. That's the only one they're guaranteed at the start of the season. Otherwise, it's totally random. So it's not like they're pitching against really good other pitchers all the time. It's the Jacob deGrom phenomena that they just don't win games.
Well, yeah, you take a look, sitting side by each, tied with a 3 ERA, okay, is Shane Bieber and Tyler Anderson. Okay, Tyler Anderson is 8-0 on the season. Bieber's 3-3.
Yeah.
It's
tough. Team you play on matters. And Garrett Cole's had a really nice season. It's only 6 wins, but a 3.14 ERA, 103 strikeouts. He's still top 5 too, with the history.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
It's good to see Robbie Ray string together 2 nice starts, Timmy, because I do have him rostered in 2 leagues. So far, I've looked completely wrong on that, but hey, it's sample size of 2, Timmy. I'm encouraged.
Yeah. Well, and the one guy that concerns me in a huge way. And I would be trying to sell him as I'd be working hard to sell him. And then Martin Perez, 1.96 ERA. That's
Yep.
I'd find a way to convert that to something else. I really would.
Yeah,
I don't feel
he's
confident.
Shown flashes in the past, Timmy, but in the end, it's always winds up being a 4 ERA and just a number 4 starter. So, not sure how he's found success this year. I haven't dug into it enough. The last question I have, Tim, is on strikeouts. Pitchers with 225 strikeouts or more, 5. Over under at 5. 7 did it last year. So got 113, 110, 108, 103, 100. So there's all this. Yeah.
I'm going to go under.
Okay.
I think you're going to see, I think you're going to see some of the pitchers step it up a bit, but it's going to be tough. Some of these guys are going to, are the Yankees going to work Garrett Cole right through September again?
I wouldn't think. Are the Rays going to work? Or going to work Shane McClanahan? I mean, this is a young pitcher that's on pace for 180 to 200 innings. I don't think. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I think if we can get 3 or 4 over 200 this year, I think that's what we're looking at right now.
I got 225, Timmy, not 200. So.
Yeah, I just think the numbers are going to be down.
Yeah.
As it is right now, 90 strikeouts. We've got 13 at 90 strikeouts.
Yeah, all of those could get to 225 given the percentages. This last year, we had Robbie Ray at 248, Wheeler 247, Cole at 243, Scherzer 236, Burnes at 234, Gausman at 225, and Dylan Cease at 226. We'll give Aaron Nola a honorable mention at 223. That's your guys, and it'll be interesting to see if anybody else makes it. You've got 2. We'll see.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some pitchers rested.
Yep.
I just think it's going to be under last year's level.
Timmy, let's take our final break. Get back. Let's find out who Tim is picking up, and we're getting right to the hour mark. Timmy, we're right on time.
Yeah, that's almost the first.
I've got something to do, Timmy. I can hold this. I think I can hold this pretty tight on time. So let's find out which positional player you are targeting for this weekend and which pitcher. Just give me one, Timmy.
I don't have a positional player right now.
Really?
I really don't. I don't have anybody that leaps out. I've been checking the boxes all week, and what I'm going to do, how about I give you two pitchers?
Let me ask you a question on the positional batters first, and just in general, because you made this comment earlier in the show, and it got me thinking that most of the guys that have been promoted. Is this new phenomena of teams promoting guys early going to make your job as the waiver wire pickup in the second half a little on the dull side?
Well, I think what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to spend time looking at average players that are on hot streaks and hoping they extend it.
Yeah.
So it's going to mean some more digging, yeah, definitely. And yeah, it'd be easy for me to say Cruz, right? But he's already rostered to the tune of 80 some odd %, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think that's the answer. Putting names out there that are already rostered in the bulk of leagues. So yeah, it's definitely gonna take some work. And I think moving into next year, when you start looking at your fab, I think you got to be spending your fab along the same lines as MLB teams are bringing up players. If everything's happening in April and May and you're sitting with 100% of your fab in July and you're not winning the league by a lot, you're in trouble. You're going to be spending, hey, you don't convert that fab into cash at the end of the year.
I learned my lesson, as I said last week, in your 20-team league, Timmy. I'm sitting with $550, and I got nobody exciting to spend it on. Do I want to spend it on Jeter Downs? No. Do I want to spend it on a guy who's hot for a week? No. I don't want to spend $200 on a guy like that. I want to spend $20, and I can get it for $20. It's so I totally agree with you. You got to be more aggressive if this is the way it's going to be.
Yeah, you got. I would say 60 to 70% of your fab should be spent by the end of May.
I concur.
Yeah, I think that.
In most of my dynasty leagues, I've got in the 200. I've spent 70% of it already, and most of them are all of them are under $400. Some are under $300. So.
Yeah, and dynasty leagues are a whole different kettle of fish because the bulk of what that money is going to be spent on in dynasty leagues is going to be on closers.
Yeah.
They come out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, I've spent them on closers. I spend them on minor league guys. Because if I bring them up on my hot prospect of the week, I know they're going to go for a premium. So if I want those guys, either I have to not mention them and then pick them up and then mention them, or I've got to go scrappy with everybody. But yeah, I've spent a lot on closers this year, and I think if I look back, Jorge Lopez has been one of the better guys they pick up, and I thank you for that, Tim, because we talked about that in early April. Jorge Lopez, really? But he's turned out to be quite a gem. Danny Jimenez has been a great find for me. So I've really gotten a lot of production out of those two guys.
Well, yeah, and Jorge Lopez, just call it a hunch, gut feeling. He was in arbitration, I believe, the first time around or eligible. Second year, I have a feeling that Lopez might get moved.
Really?
Yeah,
bite your tongue, McLeod. Man.
You know who I'd be looking at, and I'm going to mention him. This Batista.
Yeah, Felix Batista. Yeah. He's. Yep, I agree. Big, strong guy, 102 miles an hour off the.
He's a guy I would be looking at, trying to get. Rostered now as compared to later, because hey, if I'm wrong, you get yourself a great setup guy throwing strikes, doing what you need. At worst, you get yourself a nice relief pitcher. If they do move Lopez, you could have more.
Yeah. Hey, Lopez is a good pitcher. He throws in the upper 90s and throwing strikes. It's, and he's not a spring chicken. I agree with you, Timmy. I think that's
he's 32, 33?
Something like that. Yeah, he's over 30, so it's an ideal guy to move. Timmy,